This is Darlene Washington, and this is Spiritually Intriguing, the Church Edition. We're going to wrap up with our conversation with Reverend Dr. John E. Jackson Sr. of Trinity United Church of Christ in Gary, Indiana. It's been such a wonderful time here just discussing the many issues that are out there. It's like, somebody pay attention. Where is your morals here in today's society? I think they're just eroding we gotta just do something. But anyways, we're on our last topics, as I said. We're just gonna get right into it. One of the things that's going on out there is open relationships. Like, for example, you may have seen, there's a reality TV show about polygamy. There's all kinds of different things going on out there. And I'm not here to judge anyone or to say what someone should be doing or not be doing in terms of, I'm going to lock you up and put you in jail, or I'm condemning you to hell. That's never my purpose. I just want to know, how are things changing in society, and is it something that maybe could be good for us or maybe could be not so good for us? So, and then we'll just see what our pastors think. So my question is this. What is this thing about having an open relationship? Is even happening in marriages? Have today's marriages and long-term relationships been redefined? Is that what's happening?
Thank you, Darlene, for the question. My understanding of open relationship is that the two persons don't have a problem if each of them or one of them decides to have a relationship, and we're talking sexual relationship with somebody else. And as you said, there are some marriages that say we're an open marriage. Now, my assessment as a pastor is this is mostly a high-profile entertainer type thing. Mm-hmm. This is where I hear about it most. Now, as far as in the pews or person on the street, most persons that I run into would not be in an open relationship. Mm-hmm. Now, a lot of people are in relationships they don't know are open.
Right.
But most folk that I know, most folk that we run into are not going to willingly say, I'm going to share this person that I've made a commitment to, right, for a number of reasons. Right. I mean, one of the major reasons is because of the STDs and things like that, HIV. Right. But the other is that the average person is not comfortable knowing that their spouse or the person that they're in a committed relationship with are seeing somebody else. It's just something that in the average person, it smacks of betrayal. And so I mostly see it in this high-profile TV and people that are personalities are doing these things. Now, I'm not saying it's not filtering in, but
I'm hearing about it. It's on Facebook, and I've run into some individuals, and as I said, I'm not here to pass judgment on anyone. My inquiry is to, has marriage been redefined? I've seen people out here saying that it's very difficult to remain committed to one person for the rest of your entire life. It takes a certain spirituality. It takes a certain way of looking at things, a certain way of living that allows for that type of sincerity in a relationship. And you don't always get it. It's something that's hard to come by, And even when people get married and they're together for umpteenth number of years, if you go back into their relationship, did you cheat? Oh yeah, I cheated, or whatever, and you find out, but they still put the pieces together and maintained their marriage, which is what most people would do after you've invested so much time. But as I said, the thing has become, how do you stay with someone, one person, for the rest of your life? They have made countless arguments, comedians have, and it's just, I don't know, as I said, I see it as being a very spiritual thing, and it's a certain type of connectedness in Christianity that belongs to that situation, and not everyone is there. So that's why I'm not here to condemn anyone or to say anything against it. It's just that I want to know why it's happening. And I think the reason why is because, as I said, it's a different walk, and certain people just they cannot grasp or live in that realm of spirituality properly.
Yeah, I think I agree with you, but I also add to that one of the, it's part of human nature. You always see somebody that you're attracted to.
Right.
God has given us sexuality and sexual energy, and it's good, used with control. And so we naturally see people that we're attracted to. And so I don't think I don't think it is any more prevalent than it ever has been. I think we just get more media attention.
Yeah.
Because we have a 24-hour media cycle now.
Yeah,
and so you learn
TV
about
shows
more things.
About it. Yeah.
Now you see it up front more, whereas, when we didn't have that, people would whisper, at the cookouts and say, so-and-so.
This is true. This is true. I know. I can remember being a little girl hearing gossip. I mean, I'm yay high, but and because I'm short, people always thought I was younger when I was older, and they would say things around me, and I'd be like, ooh.
That's not so-and-so's wife.
I learned so much being little.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then later on they say, and how old is she? And my mom be like, oh, she's 10. Yeah, that's right. I'm 10. You didn't know that, did you? Yeah. Okay. So that's it for that. But another issue is Phillip Seymour Hoffman. He's a very talented actor who recently died. He played Capote in the film Capote. He died of a drug overdose, and there have been many, many more, including everyday people. What is happening to our ability to cope with life's daily challenges without medication? Is it due to lack of good spiritual guidance? That is the exact question. But my issue with this is, oh my God, can we learn how to cope without drugs? I just don't get it. And that's my pronunciation of the entire situation. That is my summary. But let me hear what you think.
Well, first of all, we've never coped without drugs. There's always been some type of drug in our life, and so when you look at, you look through history, we've always used some type, whether it's mushrooms or whatever. Oh. There's always been some type of.
Oh, you mean even in the Indian chief with the peace pipe? And that ain't racism. I'm referencing.
Right. And so, but we did not depend on narcotics and things like that so much to keep it together.
Right.
That I think the recreational use, or in some societies the spiritual use of certain types of what we call drugs, herbs and things like that have always been. But we have a society now that is more stressed out than ever. And so from Xanax to Librium or Zoloft, all these things have come in because of the pressures that people are dealing with. People are dealing with some incredible pressure and problems in this age. And we talked already about the lack of resources that people have, the lack of options that people feel they have. And then the medical industry. We've got to also look at the medical industry. There's a pill for everything. Look at television. They come up with
they're the new drug dealers.
Exactly, and it is designed.
And it's legal.
Well, and see, it's designed to keep people a client forever.
Right.
So instead of a country that looks to prevent, there are certain diseases and things that we get.
Right.
Let's just get the pill. High blood pressure, get the pill. This or that, get the pill. So it's no wonder that you have people who overdo it because at a particular moment it got away from them.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, they're dead.
Yeah.
Because they use this, but the stress gets so deep that my body becomes more immune to it.
Yeah.
So I get more.
More.
From Michael Jackson to Phillip Seymour Hoffman,
Exactly.
the names are legion.
Yeah, and those are the famous names, but
Exactly.
if you go down and just check about the unfamous names, you know, the people, the everyday people who this is happening to, and the lives that are being ruined because of drugs. I mean, and yes, weed, okay, people, yes, weed ruins lives. So
now I have another take on that. I'm a part of a group, and I'm a part of a group, the Drug Policy Alliance, because the statistics and the research shows that, well, let me say this, Drug Policy Alliance, we are advocating for decriminalization of marijuana.
no, I am too, but I am doing it because of the prison system and the justice system. It's ridiculous.
Well, that's my point.
It's so unfair.
Mass incarceration.
It's mass incarceration, and it's against minorities. It's against minorities. It's like, oh, lock them up. You know, let's put them in jail. And then,
Absolutely.
meanwhile, all this profit is being made. They take the money from the drug dealers.
Right.
They take the lives of the drug dealers, and all of a sudden, they've got yachts and fancy houses and all of this, and these people are rotting away in jail.
Right.
And so I am for it as well. But what I am against is simply just not being able to cope with, I mean, what is going on with people, so much so that you cannot have your own spiritual resolve within yourself to know when you don't need medication. I mean, it's like, and then like you said, it's this purpose of profit that takes over as well. It's like, I just want a person to draw back and say, who am I? Do I really need this drug to function every day? You weren't born that way.
Well,
you didn't wake up in the morning needing every day to have drugs in your system in order to go from point A to point B. You weren't born that way.
But understand how the person was born. They were born in a social network of people that nurtured them.
Yeah.
And speaking as an African American, our culture is a communal culture, and so there's a South African principle called Ubuntu, which says I am because we are, and because we are I am. A person cannot be a person unless they're other person. And so what we have gotten away from, and what the nation needs to recognize, is that we need to take care of one another, and we need to have systems, we need to have opportunities and options for people to be able to take care of one another.
Right.
We live isolated lives, darling.
We do.
We listen to music with headphones on. We don't have front porches anymore where, you know, the community, you know, you pass by and you wave to folk. We've lost the community spirit. So a person in isolation does things that might just be
Problematic is a better word. Yeah, but I mean, which is fine, and I accept that. But I just want, for me, I want people out there to first try natural resources, try meditation, try, yes, music. I mean, and you have to be careful what you're allowing into your ears as well. But try music, try physical exercise, boxing, you know, at a club, not physical violence for the purpose of being in a boxing ring for a competition, but for the purpose of strengthening in that realm. There's running. There's so many things that you can do. Physical assertion helps the mind. Please understand that. You don't always need a drug to fix your mind. Physical assertion helps the mind, as well as having a good, clean spirit or a well-focused spirit. So, not necessarily drugs. We don't have to have weed, but I repeat, the legalization of weed, but only because of the seriously faulty justice system. This is our last session, and I want to thank Reverend Dr. Jackson so much for participating. Thank you so much. It's a serious pleasure to talk with you, and that's it. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.